Russian actor Oscar Kuchera, a Putin supporter, recently claimed in an interview that the United States is at war with Russia. However, when asked to have his son surrender his American passport, he responded that it's merely populism. He believes that America is not an enemy of the Russian people. Millions around the world use American products and inventions. And interestingly, many of the most successful individuals still make sure to have American diplomas or even passports for their children. In this new episode, we delve into how the United States rose to global leadership. You'll discover the geographical advantages that allowed the nation to thrive and why even famous American inventors were often immigrants. One African proverb even became the guiding principle of U.S. foreign policy. The United States is blessed with a diverse climate, ranging from the icy landscapes of Alaska to the tropical paradise of Hawaii and Florida. The country's extensive coastlines along two oceans and the Gulf of Mexico made maritime trade convenient, ensuring easy access to global markets. These natural advantages have made the USA a resilient and influential nation on the world stage. European colonists settled on the territory that now comprises the United States, beginning 2 centuries of colonization. However, by the 1770s, British colonies rose in rebellion, and following the War of Independence, a new nation emerged. The United States essentially built its state from scratch, with a central government and a constitution adopted in 1787. In 1789, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, known as the Bill of Rights, enshrined the fundamental freedoms and rights of American citizens. These rights include religious freedom, freedom of speech in the press, the right to assemble peaceably, and the right to bear arms. These amendments remain essential pillars of American democracy. One crucial aspect of American society has always been the contributions of immigrants. These newcomers yearned for the opportunities they couldn't find in the Old World, particularly in Europe. It was Thomas Paine, one of America's founding fathers, who wrote, "Europe, not England, is the parent country of America." As the United States grew and evolved, it absorbed the dreams, innovations, and talents of generations of immigrants. In fact, America's rich tapestry was woven from the threads of various cultures, making it a truly diverse and dynamic nation. This new world served as a refuge for persecuted proponents of civil and religious freedom from all parts of Europe. Imagine the impression of a mid-19th century European immigrant. They arrived in a land free from despotism, privileged structures, monopolies, unbearable taxes, and restrictions on matters of faith and conscience. Here, one could travel and settle wherever they pleased without any requirement for a passport. No police would interfere with their affairs, and they enjoyed unrestricted movement. In this land, loyalty and merit were the only sources of honor. This model of the American nation, where all ethnicities and cultures of migrants mix together like a melting pot, has been advocated by its proponents as a way to avoid conflicts between different ethnic groups. For a long time, the United States adhered to the principles that President James Monroe outlined in 1823. These principles declared the Western Hemisphere a sphere of U.S. interests, warning European empires against meddling in these regions. Monroe's doctrine was the guiding principle of American foreign policy for nearly a century. The U.S. was fortunate that its neighbors were too weak to encroach on its territory, allowing the nation time to address internal issues. The abolition of slavery, the painful discoveries of 1848, and the gold rush in California changed the nation. Thousands sought instant wealth during the famous California gold rush, causing the city of San Francisco to swell by 25,000 people, in just 2 years. The biggest breakthrough came with the discovery of oil in 1859 in Pennsylvania, which led to the rise of the Standard Oil Company, headed by John D. Rockefeller. It was followed by the first transcontinental railway in the U.S., connecting the heart of the country to California. This railway was of an unprecedented scale, making America a nation of opportunities. The United States was seen as the land of opportunities where everyone could find their place, regardless of their origin or ancestry. It was often referred to as the American dream, where the place of one's birth or lineage held little significance compared to the old world. The nation thrived on the dreams, innovations, and talents of generations of immigrants who came in pursuit of opportunities. By the way, the approach to maritime policy was defined by the theory of American statesman Alfred Mahan, which stated that dominion over the seas is the most crucial element of global hegemony. Mahan believed that America should surpass and outstrip the British Empire, the master of the seas. The U.S. fleet truly asserted itself, becoming the master of the Caribbean Sea and a significant force in the Pacific Ocean. This was clearly demonstrated in the Spanish-American War in 1898. Spain could not withstand the youthful and audacious America, which took control of Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines territories that were previously Spanish. However, equally important developments were occurring off the battlefields. In the late 19th century, a period of rapid industrialization in the United States witnessed groundbreaking inventions that would change the world. Isaac Singer perfected the sewing machine, the Wright brothers pioneered the first powered flight, and Thomas Edison invented the phonograph, the electric light bulb, and the kinetoscope, which displayed moving images. Notable inventors from all around the world were drawn to the U.S., primarily because of the vast resource potential, a free market economy, and, significantly, the protection of ideas through the U.S. patent system, which was the first in the world. Patents were granted to both legal entities and individuals. One of the early immigrant scientists was the British chemist Joseph Priestley. From Europe, inventors such as Alexander Graham Bell and Nikola Tesla came to the United States. Tesla made numerous groundbreaking inventions, sparking a flurry of developments. The late 19th century witnessed a dramatic transformation in the United States, including an 8-fold increase in iron production, a 10-fold increase in coal mining, and a 150-fold increase in steel production. The total value of industrial output tripled, while the number of industrial workers increased substantially. By the turn of the 20th century, the United States had evolved into a land of opportunity where anyone could find their niche, and one's background or lineage played a lesser role than in the old world. This concept later became known as the American Dream. Despite logistical challenges, the U.S. continued to grow, and the construction of the transcontinental railway system connected the nation's heart to California. This railway system was an unprecedented achievement at the time, attracting a wave of migration to the U.S., cementing its status as a land of opportunity where everyone could find their calling. As the United States rapidly rose, it became a creditor nation, and the Great Depression of 1929 was a severe blow to its economy. However, the U.S. rebounded and emerged from World War I as the world's wealthiest nation, having suffered fewer combat losses than other major players, as most of the fighting took place far from U.S. soil. The U.S. actively participated in the establishment of the post-war global order. Notably, President Woodrow Wilson played a key role in shaping the post-war world. The United States continued to assert itself on the world stage, with both a nuclear bomb and the world's largest military fleet, including massive aircraft carriers and military bases worldwide. As the British Empire weakened due to the dissolution of its colonial holdings, the U.S. ascended as the leader of the Western world. It was quite assertive, often intervening in the affairs of independent nations. Despite the country often dealing with controversial figures, Washington repeatedly involved itself in the affairs of independent states. In collaboration with the British, the U.S. orchestrated a coup in Iran, and it deployed troops to the Dominican Republic, Grenada, and Panama. On the other side of the coin, the U.S. was indeed a disruptive player on the world stage. Nonetheless, the fact remains that Washington frequently meddled in the affairs of sovereign nations. Controversy arose regarding American companies in Vietnam and the Iraq War in 2003. For these actions, the U.S. government faced criticism not only from foreign nations, but also from its own citizens. This is a significant indicator that, despite its contentious policies, the United States maintained its essential value of democracy. Despite evident wrongdoings on the international stage, there was a robust civil society within the country that was unafraid to protest against the government. As a famous anecdote highlights, even in the Soviet Union, one could protest against Nixon and the Vietnam War. This, in essence, is democracy. The American dollar, after the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944, became the world's primary currency. The U.S. was granted exclusive rights to issue and emit the global currency. Moreover, all hydrocarbon settlements were tied to the American dollar. Throughout its history, there hasn't been any government coup or usurpation of power in the U.S. thanks to its political model with a system of checks and balances. The three branches of government are genuinely independent of one another. The two-party system ensures mutual control of the two main political forces. Federalism is real, not just a formality. Each state is, in essence, a state within a state, with the power to make various decisions. Hunting for brains still makes the United States one of the most attractive countries for education and scientific research. Americans hold the largest number of Nobel Prizes, over 400, which is 3 times more than their closest competitors, the British. American universities consistently rank in the top 10 worldwide. Typically, most of the institutions in these rankings are American. Of course, one cannot ignore American mass culture and lifestyle, which have captivated the world. From Hollywood to McDonald's, whether you like them or not, they have conquered the globe. By the way, the concept of soft power, influencing other countries, not through military intervention, but through cultural expansion, was formulated in the United States. Speaking of which, the United States is a vast and diverse land with its own share of challenges that are far from easy to solve. The perfect state doesn't exist in principle, but the U.S. ranks number 1 in many aspects.